Back here in Washington, the Supreme Court issued a major ruling today involving the Second Amendment. The justices ruled that the government can take guns away from people under domestic violence restraining orders. It's their first major ruling on guns in 2 years. CBS's Jan Crawford reports from outside the Supreme Court.
Victims' rights groups said the gun law helped keep women safe from abusers. Zaki Rahimi, a Texas drug dealer prosecuted for having a gun while under a domestic violence restraining order, said it violated his Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. Federal judges in Texas agreed with Rahimi, relying on a 2022 Supreme Court decision that said gun laws have to have roots in an historical tradition. But in its 8-1 ruling, the justices said the lower courts misunderstood. The government has always been able to disarm people who are dangerous. Since the founding, our nation's firearm laws have included provisions preventing individuals who threaten physical harm to others from misusing guns, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote for the court. Justice Clarence Thomas, the court's staunchest conservative who wrote the 2022 decision, was the lone dissenter, saying historically there were no gun bans for people who commit domestic violence. Victims' advocates reacted with what one called overwhelming relief. An average of 70 women a month are killed by an intimate partner using a gun. Nearly 1 million American women have been shot or shot at by their partners.
Today was a day where prioritizing the safety of victims and survivors of domestic violence won. And we don't get a tremendous amount of those days.
The justices also indicated other laws, such as those banning felons and drug abusers from having guns, are constitutional, sending a message that lower courts have been too quick to strike down gun laws.
Now, the court will have more opinions next week as they look to wrap up their term by the end of the week or maybe early in the following week. There's about a dozen or so cases left. And Nancy, they've got some big ones.
Jan, one of the biggest ones is Donald Trump's immunity case. What are we watching for there?
I mean, that is the one we're all waiting for, and whether or not former President Trump is immune from prosecution for his actions around January 6th, his efforts to obstruct the 2020 election. That case could determine when and where, whenever, Special Counsel Jack Smith will be able to prosecute him for all of that activity. So that one, who knows when it'll be, but we expect it between now and the beginning of July.
We know you'll be watching it. Jan Crawford at the Supreme Court tonight. Thank you so much.